Hello and welcome to the Legacy Championships final match. Osyp Lebedowicz on the left of your screen has piloted a blue-red Delver deck to this final. He's got, it's kind of a nice twist. It's only two colors. It's blue and it's red. Not bothering with Tarmogoyf, not bothering with Stoneforge Mystic. What he does have is Young Pyromancer and a safer mana base with a couple basic islands in it. He gets Grim Lavamancer. It's a pretty nice take on the Delver deck, and it's gotten him to the finals. On the other side, White Weenie. Basic Plains coming down.
White
bordered basic planes, and now here's Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
So Death and Taxes is the name of the Arilax deck. It's got, you know, just every annoying white weenie you can come up with. Thalia makes things cost more expensive. Mind Sensor says you can't search your deck. Just Flicker Wisp can do shenanigans. Mother of Runes defends everybody.
Yeah, it's arguably the best equipment deck in the format right now. And you throw on top that combo with Mangar of Krondor, the sort of a recurring Vindicate on a stick.
Right.
So,
yeah, Aether Vials will speed it out. Looks like he's chosen Jitte with the Stoneforge. So that's the right equipment for this matchup.
Yeah.
What's his set? Is his Jitte a Batterskull?
Batterskull.
Is the sword in the sideboard?
Yeah, Sword of Fire and Ice in the sideboard.
Sword of Fire and Ice in the sideboard. Okay.
Which certainly the right sword for his finals opponent, who happens to be on a blue-red deck.
A fine point. Yeah, and one other twist on Osyp's deck, the True Name Nemesis, making his debut this weekend, part of that Commander 2013 product that just came out. I'm not sure we've answered the question over how good it is. Osyp's the only guy with them in the top 8. All right. Lightning Bolt takes out the Stoneforge Mystic before it can sneak the Jitte out.
Yeah, we've watched a bunch of his matches, and I'm not sure that it's really been the deciding factor in any that we've seen. But yeah, he's told us that it's been, in certain matches, has been fantastic. So.
Yeah, and those matches are the ones he calls the fair matchups.
Right.
And, I mean, if White Weenie is anything, it's usually one of the fair decks.
Sure.
It's not, you know, combo, control. It's just honest creatures doing an honest day's work. I don't know if Stoneforge Mystic is honest. I'm not sure I like my own metaphor here.
This is kind of the flying creatures carrying equipment union.
All right, Stoneforge number 2 comes down. He's going to go get the Batterskull. And there's Mother of Runes.
And Mother of Runes.
What is Osyp's hand doing? I mean, he kept a 7.
It's not applying any pressure, I'll tell you that.
So he elected to say go on turn 2, right?
Yeah. So one of the difficulties.
Was he hoping to spell Pierce a Jitte?
One of the difficulties with the blue-red deck is you have less cheap threats to kind of spam out there early, while you keep them off balance with your counterspells behind it. So.
Yeah, I keep getting excited. It's such a cool matchup. I'm talking loudly, and I got to keep reminding myself to whisper, because the players are not that far away, and there's not many people left in the room.
Yeah, it looks like he has Young Pyromancer in his hand. Or no?
Yeah, he does. He declined to play it last turn, which is interesting to me. Like, he kept up. I basically spell Pierce. I don't know what else he had up, but I think he was hoping to spell Pierce a Jitte, and it didn't work out. So now Young Pyromancer comes down. He's going to probe. You know, he already knew about 2 of these. Here's the other 2. Rishadan Port and Flicker Wisp? Or is it Fiend Hunter?
I think
it's got a lot of glare.
Fiend Hunter, but I can't see with the glare.
We've established that it's a 3-mana dork of some kind.
Yeah, it's some terrible creature.
It doesn't belong in the
regardless
Legacy deck.
which one it is.
That's Flicker Wisp, right? Yeah. Look, if you can afford to pay 3 mana for Flicker Wisp in Legacy, I think you can afford to pay 3 mana for True Name Nemesis.
Oh, that's a fair point. I mean, the thing about this deck is, like I said, it's really just all about the equipment, and the creatures are...
Here's Jitte with 2 mana available, so he can pay for Spell Pierce. And you see Ari's doing the thing a lot of these guys do. He's just leaving the known cards in his hand face up out of politeness. Saves us the trouble of writing them down or trying to remember them. It's a pretty nice sign of respect. I mean, definitely see when both players are good, both players kind of respect the other. Like, look, I know you're going to know these. I know you're going to write them down if I make you. I'll just play with this part of my hand face up. So, Spell Pierce.
And
trigger.
Making a guy.
Gets a guy. It does mean the Jitte is not getting equipped this turn, but I'm sure Ari's going to pay. Does Osyp have a Daze to follow up? That would be nice. I don't think he does, though.
No, I think it was just making him pay the 2 and getting a guy.
And skip a turn. He skips a turn of activating it and attacking with it.
I mean, one of the other differences here is you're usually not going to be able to burn out the equipment carriers on the Death and Taxes side. They have a bunch of them, and they have
Mother Runes, yeah.
So there's not nearly enough burn in the Blue-Red Delver deck to prevent
4 lightning bolts, a fork bolt, and a couple Lavamancers.
Yeah, it's just not going to be enough.
No, that Jitte is bad news.
Once a Stoneforge comes in, you have the Flicker Wisp and all the ways to just make sure you have every equipment in your deck in your hand and deploying out into play, which is exactly what we saw the last game.
So what, now Osyp has to race through Mother of Runes? That's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
I talked to him between rounds. He did play this matchup in the Swiss. He won the match he played during the Swiss. Wow, there's True Name. That can attack.
Wow, so that's not
a Delver, so
not
that
a
can
bad turn
fly.
for him.
Delver's going to die to Jitte tokens probably, but True Name has protection from a player, and Osyp chose Ari. So Ari cannot block, Ari cannot target, any damage from Ari is reduced, but Stoneforge picked up Pro
Blue, I assume, right? So he can get past the...
Yeah, to get past the True Name Nemesis, right?
And then that should let him kill the Delver and the Pyromancer.
Yeah, I mean, Osyp can block with red.
Yeah, he's just trying to get the tokens.
Right. I mean, you block and trade here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally trade. Is that better than 2 tokens? Don't you keep your Pyromancer and trade for 2 tokens? Or I guess because of the counters, like your Pyromancer's going to die.
It's going to die anyway.
To 1 counter. So yeah, it is, I guess, more efficient. He had his choice. He could have kept... Yeah, he's keeping 2 1/1s instead of keeping the Pyromancer. Flicker Wisp. Untaps of planes. So, phases the planes out, it comes right back, but it comes back untapped. Doesn't do a whole lot, just gets a 3/1 flying body into play. True Name gets in for 3.
So there's nothing he can do to stop from taking 3 damage a turn.
No, Osyp wins. Well, but
as long as he wants to.
Ari wins this race.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, it's 3 plus Jitte can start giving giving extra power. I think Ari wins this race. Yeah, he started out ahead.
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
He's hitting harder. Here comes his second Mother of Runes.
Not to mention he's got Batterskull sitting in his hand.
Oh yeah, Batterskull. Forgot about that one. Revoker naming Grim Lavamancer? What do you name?
If he knows he has it, that's
well.
They've
Seen the deck lists.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you
doesn't do a whole lot in this match, right?
I'm pretty sure it's legitimately the only card that you can name.
He named Engineered Explosives
because he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he has. He must not.
Did they not get the deck list?
Yeah, Osyp had posted that he didn't get to see the deck list before the top 8 started. So
I guess they've kept the players relative. They've kept the players sequestered in here, haven't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they. All right. Ari Lax up a game. Stoneforge Mystic. That guy's good. That card is not fair.
Yeah.
That card, I guess, Death and Taxes aren't fair either.
I feel like this is actually a tough matchup for the Delver deck. The Stifles and the Wastelands and the things like that you're counting on, they just don't do that much. And I mean, normally the Delver deck gets to apply that early pressure. I mean, this deck
you know how many fetch lands Ari Lax has that you can point Stifle at?
It's got Wastelands,
right.
But
you can stifle a Wasteland, maybe. That's it. No fetches. The mana base is crazy. 3 Caracas, 1 Iganjo Castle, 4 Wasteland, 4 Schadenport, 2 Horizon Canopy, 8 Plains, 1 Cavern of Souls. The Horizon Canopy is just so that you can cantrip it if you run out of gas.
Yeah, right? Correct. Yeah, there's no green.
There's 1 blue card in the sideboard. There's a Mindbreak Trap in the sideboard.
He also has a Serenity, which would have been hilarious against the Mud deck.
Yeah, Serenity is powerful.
Yeah, Serenity's a good one.
Is insane. And he's got Enlightened Tutors, right? He's a really nice sideboard.
Yeah.
2 Enlightened Tutors, which essentially means that his 2 O-Rings is functionally 4 in the matchup where he wants it. His 2 Aethersworn Canalists is functionally 4 in the matchups where he wants Aether Canalists.
Curse Totem against Elves.
Right. Yeah, and the 1 Serenity. He's effectively got 3 Serenities.
Meekstone against Rug is a killer. That's actually one that used to see a lot more of. Like Elves used to play. Yeah, Elves used to play Meekstone in the sideboard against the Rug deck. So fine, you can only attack me once. I have this Meekstone, and I'm probably blocking and bouncing a guy anyway. He's never going to kill me.
Shuts down.
So yeah, yes, it does.
Does it come in here?
It might. It might.
I mean, True Name is one of Osip's better cards in this matchup. I got to think. That's hilarious.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he brings that in. I mean, he has targets for his Sunlance.
What? Why does he have a Sunlance? I mean, I get it has to be. So he's already maxed on Swords to Plowshares. There's some matchups where he probably wants to kill another weenie creature, and he doesn't want to Path to Exile because he doesn't want to risk giving them a land when his whole plan is Rishadenport, Thalia,
and Wasteland.
Make you pay taxes. You can't pay my taxes.
Right.
So, I mean, Sunlance apparently makes the cut above Path to Exile. I haven't seen it come in.
No. I hope the deciding play of this finals game is that he gets the Sunlance, some
like a
critical
Delver,
creature, and wins.
It does kill most of Osyp's
Set
creatures.
the legacy format back 10 years.
Funny.
Yeah, Serenity's a card I've seen played in, and I've played a few times actually in Vintage Dredge sideboards against the workshop decks.
Oh, wow.
You just, they keep a hand without resistors, no spheres or thorns. They're bringing in hate. They go, Tormod's Crypt, Grafdigger's Cage, and you're just like, yep, Serenity. So.
Do your Dredge decks have the ability to cast spells? They don't all, but.
In Vintage, yeah, lately a lot of the decks are jamming a lot of lands. A lot of the Dredge decks. So let's see here.
But Vintage is for tomorrow. We got one match left in Legacy.
362 men down and women down.
Yeah,
two
two to
men
go.
standing.
Did he draw? It looks like Ari drew the Batterskull. There's Mother of Runes. It's a good one. Osyp can daze if he's willing to pick up his island.
So as
He
soon
can
as
float blue, brainstorm, then daze. That seems worth it.
I would do that.
Yeah,
so
you don't want Mother Runes over there.
As soon as Osyp moved his hand, Ari started moving the bomb to the graveyard.
So drew into. He's still a Stifle in this deck. Yeah. He's got a lot in the sideboard, I guess.
You can Stifle Stoneforge Mystic, can't you?
Oh, Stifle the trigger when it comes into play. That's pretty good.
Activations too, if you missed that one.
Yeah, but that's
It's.
less
I mean,
exciting.
it can buy you a turn.
Right. It's merely a tempo play.
If it means you're not staring at Batterskull in the
I'm
face.
just saying you wouldn't put a card in your deck to do
No,
that.
no. Of course not.
All right, so he does brainstorm.
Yep.
He does daze.
Yep.
No Mother.
Makes sense.
Osyp's back a land drop, but okay, fair enough. Replay the island. That basic island doing work against Wasteland. 2 mana Stoneforge. Thalia? I think Thalia is what I would play. Goes for Stoneforge. Oh, is he gonna get to stifle the 187?
Yep.
Yeah. Stifle that comes into playability. Stoneforge Mystic, that one's a square. Oh, but you know what?
Kind of, except
Does
he
he have the
already
Batterskull in his
it's
hand?
already in his hand.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oops.
That's crazy. I like Osyp. I mean, Osyp's line of play there is clearly correct.
Yeah.
He just randomly has one of his 3 artifacts, one of his 3 pieces of equipment already in his hand. I'm sure Osyp is rolling his eyes.
Oh.
That
bad.
turn was brutal.
That was not a good turn for Timo. So.
Yeah, turns out you played a Stifle, which looked awesome, except I already have the Batterskull in my hand, and oh, by the way, Wasteland your Volcano.
When you say it like that, it sounds terrible for
Well, I
him.
mean, it's not like the Wasteland could have been stifled. That's
Enough. That's it.
There we go. Wow. Arilax, Death and Taxes is your champion. Osyp just scoops him up. Absolutely blown out in that game. Oh my goodness.
Don't hold back.